What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to your stimulus check update, stimulus package, and infrastructure update and daily news report for Saturday, August 28th. So we actually have some pretty big news that has been coming out over the past couple of days. This morning, we've been getting more reports that Democrats want to lower the amount of the $3.5 trillion infrastructure spending bill, also known as the next stimulus package. And you're probably thinking, well, this is nothing new. Well, it's not just moderates that are considering lowering the amount of that $3.5 trillion bill. More Democrats are coming out and saying that they are opposed to such a high price package because it could hurt them during the next midterm elections, which is next year. So right now, Democrats are pushing back against Nancy Pelosi, against Senator Bernie Sanders and progressives, saying that no, we cannot spend that much because it would hurt us. But progressives are saying if we don't go above and beyond for the American people, that would hurt us as well. So it's very interesting how things are going, but over the past couple of weeks, lawmakers have been pushing for more and more of their own priorities. However, experts say some of these are not in the best interest of the American people. Some of these are in the best interest of that lawmaker. And that's where things get a little tricky and kind of get somewhat hairy, because lawmakers are not going to pass something just because one or two lawmakers support it and it's going to help them. Now, if a lawmaker has a lot of leverage, like Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, then yes, they could get different pieces of legislation, some of their priorities pushed through, just because Democrats are going to try to buy their vote. So that's really what we're seeing at this time. Many people are just trying to figure out, what does Joe Manchin and what does Kyrsten Sinema want in this next bill? If they can get them that, what can that lawmaker then get in return? So we'll see. Now, I mentioned earlier this week that many Democrats are urging moderates just to jump on board with this large $3.5 trillion bill. However, this is what is hurting them. What's hurting them is some moderates want to see this bill go down to about $2 trillion. Progressives would like to add to that $3.5 trillion spending bill and see it go closer to 4 to 5. However, let's just be realistic here. Chances are this is going to go anywhere between $2.5 to $3 trillion. That is the new number. That is the new estimate. And I say this not because I think a $2.5 to $3 trillion infrastructure bill is going to really help. I think $3.5 trillion would do a lot of good for millions of people. The problem is it doesn't have the support. It doesn't have the support. And according to multiple reports this morning, that the Problem Solvers Caucus, they are not going to come out and push for the $3.5 trillion bill. If it's up to them, they're going to come out and modify the current framework, bring it down anywhere between $2 to $3 trillion. So that's what we're hearing this morning from them. Now, Nancy Pelosi, this past week, she came out and she had to strike a deal with moderates. And this was great. This really helped move things forward. We got that $3.5 trillion budget resolution. It got pushed through. That is great. Now we can start working on the budget reconciliation. But again, we're over a month away. According to Nancy Pelosi, we're going to hopefully have a vote on this before October 1st. But according to some, this won't be ready. So we'll see. The good thing, though, right now is that moderates, they are trying to get something done. They understand if the $3.5 trillion bill is not negotiated, whether it comes down or it stays at $3.5 trillion, doesn't matter. But if that's not negotiated and passed, they understand that that $1.2 trillion bipartisan bill is not going to pass either. Progressives will tank both bills if the $3.5 trillion bill is not seen as a higher priority. So again, we'll see what happens there. But this week, this coming week, it's going to be an interesting week. We're going to see more proposals. We're going to see more ideas, and hopefully we can get some, somewhat of a leak as to what exactly is going to be in this $3.5 trillion bill. Because as of right now, all we know is what has been allocated to the certain committees. That's really it. Yeah, some things have been, they have told us that this will be in this bill, But again, there's no guarantee as of right now until this bill actually passes. So we'll see what happens there. Experts are saying, though, that the American Families Plan for $3.5 trillion, this is not getting the support that it needs. And because of this, Nancy Pelosi and progressives, they're going to turn to the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, try to get more support from moderates voting for that bill. Okay, so now we're getting reports that, all right, we're gonna see Nancy Pelosi and progressives start to go and find support from a different bill and try to get support onto their bill. The problem there is, again, it's still very high, $3.5 trillion. But again, this is what they believe needs to be included. And the stuff right now that is included into this $3.5 trillion bill and is almost a 100% guarantee that it will be included are things like a path to permanent residency for immigrants. That's going to be in there. Democrats have said that is one of the things, that is one of the priorities. This is what progressives are telling us as well. There's going to be universal child care, elder care, free community college, paid family leave, dental, vision, and hearing added into Medicare, and so much more. There's going to be a lot of stuff added in here. But again, just remember, I didn't mention a stimulus check. I did not mention a stimulus check being 100% guarantee. Now, I think it's going to be in here. I think we're going to have some support for additional stimulus to the American people, but is it going to be a guarantee? No, it's not going to be a guarantee. Experts believe that the $3.5 trillion bill, if it gets shrunk at all, let's say to 2.5, even $3 trillion, then this would pretty much pull out any stimulus check that could have been on the table. Okay, so just keep that in mind. There's also nothing in this bill for student loan forgiveness, even though our Democratic leaders and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer himself has been pushing for up to $50,000 in student debt relief. He wants President Biden to just come out and do an executive order. However, President Biden has not done that. They've done little bits here and there. I think they're up to like $8 trillion or $8 billion in debt relief right now. But again, it's a good start. It's a good start. It's helping out millions of people, or right about 1 million people at this time. So experts believe that we are going to see more of a push for that as well. There's also nothing in this bill, in this $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill, for renters, mortgage holders, the unemployed, or for evictions. And this is something that's been kind of popping up over the past 48 hours. Economists believe that letting all the current stimulus programs expire and end around the same time is going to be devastating, and it's going to create more of a disaster than anything else. But we're going to see what lawmakers have in store for us over the next few weeks, because right now it's starting to get very interesting as to what they are actually pushing for. Well, there's actually something else I want to bring to your attention. Yesterday, AOC and 63 other Democrats were bashing the Supreme Court. They're bashing them over their eviction ban ruling. They say that this will risk needless loss of human life. They also went on to say, and I quote, allowing an eviction crisis to take hold will only erase the gains we've made and put our recovery further out of reach. And that's actually what many experts believe is going to happen. They believe the same thing. The eviction crisis must be taken care of. They say that we need to address this crisis before it gets out of hand. I can tell you right now, just looking at the news, watching some mainstream media as well, we were seeing that there was a surge in new eviction filings on Friday. Again, the Supreme Court ruled on this Thursday afternoon. So by Friday morning, people were already filing for their evictions. Now, I want to bring this to your attention because if you evict a tenant, you cannot get the rental relief. You cannot get it. There's no way you can get it. However, the funds have already been allocated to the states, but the states are just so slow to get that money out. And even the White House had something to say about this. And the White House, they made a statement. Here it is. No state or locality should delay distributing resources that have been provided by Congress to meet families' critical needs and prevent the tragedy of unnecessary eviction. Okay, well, this is one of the reasons why the Treasury Department changed the rules the other day. This was actually done, I think, Thursday morning, which it allows people that are applying for rental assistance to do something called a self-attestation. This just means you can go in and you can file and say, I need help. COVID has hurt me. COVID, has me struggling financially. I need some rental assistance. That's all you need. You don't have to go and provide any additional documentation. That's not needed at this time. And that is one of the things, according to many reports, is slowing down the entire process because many people only do half of the documents that they actually need. So that's what we know right now. But again, things are starting to change, and as they do, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. If you could and you enjoyed today's video, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.